Since I lost about 5 days worth of footage, I figured I would give just an overview of things that I did during that 5 days. A couple of them were projects. Some of them were just announcements. Got to work on getting the deck down for the 1445. It rained last night. I'm guessing I'm going to have to mow here in the next 2 to 3 days. Well, right at May 1st for mowing. That was my guess. We've kind of been all over the board for first mowing of the year. I think the first year we lived in our house, the current house that we're at, we mowed in like mid-March. It was kind of weird. In fact, I broomed the driveway in February. The weather was so nice. And then last year, I don't think I mowed until May, almost the second week of May. I'll have to go back and look. Maybe it was the first week in May. So we're about the same time this year. So that'll be coming up this week. Got to get the deck down. Got to get all these machines cleaned out. I'll come back to the 322 project. Got to get the blower off the 1445, get it all cleaned up. Also, another thing that's recently happened is I went and got a new bucket for the 4066. I bought a 78-inch wide bucket. I wanted to try it out, mostly from the standpoint of, and I'm going to keep the old bucket, and I'll explain that, why I bought a new bucket here in just a second. So this is it doesn't have a replaceable cutting edge, so it's a little bit different than the old bucket that I have, that I've used. But what I want to do is I actually want to use my tooth bar here on the old bucket because I want to work on the driveway a little bit. So this is just a 78-inch wide bucket. It's not necessarily what I would classify as a heavy-duty bucket. To give you a little bit of price comparison, because you always get what you pay for. This bucket's going to retail about $600, whereas the other John Deere heavy-duty bucket, I think, was right at $1,100 or $1,200. But it has a replaceable cutting edge, things like this. Once this bucket wears out, it wears out, whereas the other one has a cutting edge, it can be replaced. So one of the things, you get what you pay for. So far, I really like the different style. This is got a little bit longer bottom to it. It seems to dig pretty good. A little bit different working with sitting that far away from the bucket. You definitely, the edge is a little bit different in terms of level and whatnot. So got to work on that a little bit. The other announcement that I have is hopefully the floor will go in the shop in the next week and a half or so. I'm just going to open the door because it's extremely windy. So what we ended up with is we're going to go with a 5-inch concrete, 24-inch on center grid, 1/2-inch rebar. That will be the floor of the shop. There will also be 2 floor drains in it. The floor drains will not drain to drain tile. They'll just be kind of French drains that will just drain into some rocks underneath the concrete. It seems to work pretty good for this building that I'm in now, and I think it'll work but well for that building. Just got to thinking about it, and putting in a trench drain or some drain with drain tile in an unheated building presents some problems where we live in terms of sealing it up over the winter, stuff like that, because it's cold building inside, cold building outside. Any water is not necessarily going to melt, but it's going to refreeze in the drain. So a concern. I think that is about it for major updates for the tractor, whatnot. The projects up front, I'll go and explain those here in just a second. I've also been working on this 445 engine. I was able to get it to run a little bit better. That's part of some of the footage that I lost. I originally wasn't going to do many videos on it, but decided that I could. Mostly because I traced most of the problems to wiring. If you can see this absolute mess of a wiring job right here. This wire right here is grounding out on the air cleaner cover, or air cleaner base. That was causing some of the issues. I think that this pressure sensor is going out. The injection control module tested out good because obviously it was running, so there's no problem with the injection control module. But I think that pressure sensor, along with some of these wiring issues, were causing a lot of the problem. Also identified that this machine probably had a pretty rough life, because I don't know if you can see that, but that's where the motor mount's supposed to be. Went to go take the bolt off the motor mount, took the bolt out, and the motor mount fell down on the ground. So definitely, definitely a hard life for this machine. So we'll continue to work on it. I do want to check the valve lash when I take the valve covers off. I'll do that in the next couple days as I have time. I've been working out in the shop somewhere late in the evening after I get done virtually commuting for work. But we making progress on little things here and there. Also getting the shop ready to clean it out to move into the new building once the floor is poured, etc. Also have a really cool item coming here in about a month that I think I'll keep dropping some hints in the video. Nothing John Deere. It is not John Deere related, but it is pretty cool. So we'll have that here in about a month or so, and I'll keep dropping hints and videos about that, but it will go in the new building. So keep in mind, it doesn't have power that needs to be run to it because the new building doesn't have power. So I'll let you think about it. I think that's about it for right now. Thanks for watching. And I will try to update all the projects that I lost the videos on. I'll try to update those as we move forward. I did a little bit of video on the Toro, taking the real units off. That video didn't work out either. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But thanks for watching.